My pencil snapped mid-sketch, the lead skittering across the page like my life breaking apart. I was 17, crouched in my dimly lit bedroom in Queens, New York, hiding from the world and from Mom's vodka-soaked rants downstairs. My fashion sketches, vibrant bursts of color and dreams, were the only place I could be me, Oliver Hayes. Secretly gay, secretly in love, secretly terrified. It was 2025, and the world felt like it was moving too fast. Dad had walked out when I was 12, leaving me with Mom, who drowned her grief in bottles and bitterness. I learned early to stay quiet, to blend into the shadows of our crumbling apartment. But my sketches, bold dresses, tailored suits, avant-garde coats screamed everything I couldn't say. They were my rebellion, my truth, tucked away in a battered sketchbook under my mattress. No one knew. Not Mom, not my best friend Ezra, not even the kids at school who called me freak for wearing thrifted scarves and mismatched sneakers. Ezra. Just thinking his name made my chest tighten. He was the only person who made Queens feel less like a cage. We'd been friends since freshman year, bonding over shared detentions and a love for old vinyl records. He was fearless dark curls, warm brown skin, and a laugh that could stop time. He was also straight, or so I thought, and I buried my feelings for him deeper than my sketches. But last week, in the school art room, his hand brushed mine while we painted a mural, and his eyes lingered too long. I couldn't breathe. Was it real? Or was I seeing what I wanted? Tonight, Mom was worse than usual. Her voice slurred through the thin walls, cursing Dad, cursing me, cursing life. I clutched my sketchbook, sketching a gown inspired by Ezra's confidence surge. Daring. Alive. Each stroke was a prayer for escape. My phone buzzed. A text from Ezra. Meet me at the bodega. Got something big to tell you. My heart raced. I grabbed my jacket, slipped past Mom's passed-out form on the couch, and ran into the rain-soaked night. The bodega's neon sign flickered as Ezra leaned against the wall, his red hoodie glowing under the streetlight. "Ollie," he said, his voice low, "I got us into something wild." He pulled out a flyer for Runway Revolution, a live TV fashion design contest for teens, airing in 2 weeks. The grand prize, a scholarship to Parsons School of Design. My dream school. My ticket out. "They're looking for bold, raw talent," Ezra said, grinning. "Your sketches. Manthe Riet." I froze. My sketches were Mimi's secrets. My love. My truth. Showing them to the world felt like stripping naked on live TV. "I can't," I stammered. Ezra stepped closer, his eyes searching mine. "You can. You're incredible, Ollie. Stop hiding." His hand grazed my arm, and I swear the rain stopped falling. Did he know? Could he feel it? I nodded, heart pounding, not knowing if I was agreeing to the contest or to something bigger. Back home, I pulled out my sketchbook, hands shaking. The designs poured out gowns that flowed like water, suits sharp enough to cut through fear. Each one was a piece of me, a piece of Ezra. I didn't sleep that night, torn between terror and hope. Could I really do this? Could I show the world who I was? Or would it all come crashing down? The next morning, Ezra met me at the school art room, where we'd prep our submission. He'd convinced the art teacher, Ms. Rivera, to let us use the space. She was a former designer, tough but kind, and she saw something in my work. "These are raw, Oliver," she said, flipping through my sketches. "They're you. Don't hold back." Her words lit a fire in me, but fear still gnawed. What if Mom saw? What if the world saw? Ezra and I spent hours cutting fabric, pinning patterns, laughing over my terrible sewing skills. His confidence was infectious, but every time his hand brushed mine, I wondered if I was imagining the spark. "You're gonna kill it, Ollie," he said, holding up a half-finished jacket. "This is your story." I wanted to tell him he was my story, but the word stuck. By the end of the week, we'd submitted my portfolio to Runway Revolution. The waiting was torture. I sketched to cope, filling pages with designs inspired by Ezra's laugh, his courage, our city. Mom was spiraling worse. Empty bottles littered the kitchen, and she barely noticed me. I didn't care. I had Ezra, and I had a chance. But late at night, alone, I wondered, if I won, if I bared my soul on TV, would I lose everything else? Then the email came. We were in. Runway Revolution wanted me on their live show in Manhattan. My stomach dropped. This was real. My sketches me heart would be exposed to millions. And Ezra would be there, watching, maybe seeing me for the first time. I wasn't ready. But I couldn't turn back. The studio lights burned brighter than the sun, and my hands shook as I clutched my sketchbook backstage at Runway Revolution. The Manhattan set buzzed with cameras, contestants, and crew, a chaotic symphony of ambition. I was 18 now, a week past my birthday, but I felt like a kid about to be caught stealing. Ezra stood beside me, his presence steadying my nerves. "You got this, Ollie," he whispered, his hand brushing mine. That touch sent my heart into overdrive, but I couldn't dwell on it. Not now. Not when my designs me truth were about to be judged by a panel of fashion icons and a live audience of millions. The other contestants were intimidating. There was Lila, a fierce girl from Brooklyn with neon-dyed hair and leather designs that screamed rebellion. Marcus, a preppy kid from Connecticut, had sketches so polished they could have been in Vogue already. And then there was me, the quiet kid from Queens with a thrift store jacket and a secret I prayed wouldn't spill out on national TV. The host, a glamorous woman named Vivian Cole, called my name. I stumbled forward, sketchbook in hand, as the cameras zoomed in. "Oliver Hayes," Vivian purred. "Tell us about your collection." My throat tightened. I glanced at Ezra in the wings, his thumbs up giving me courage. "It's about being seen," I said, voice cracking. "About who you are when no one's looking." The audience murmured, and I prayed they didn't hear the tremble in my words. I unveiled my first piece, a flowing red gown inspired by Ezra's boldness. The fabric shimmered under the lights, and the judges leaned forward. "Bold color choice," said one, a designer named Carla Ruiz. "It's emotional." "Who's it for?" I froze. "It's for him," I thought, but I said, "Someone fearless." Ezra's smile from the sidelines felt like a lifeline. The other designs followed: a tailored suit with sharp lines, a coat with hidden pockets for secrets. Each one was a piece of me, raw and unfiltered. The judges praised my vision but questioned my execution. "Raw talent," Carla said, "but you're holding back." Why? I wanted to scream that I was terrified of Mom, of the world, of losing Ezra. Instead, I nodded, mumbling something about refining my technique. Backstage, Ezra pulled me into a hug. "You were amazing," he said, his breath warm against my ear. My heart screamed to tell him everything, how every design was for him, how I loved him. But fear choked me. What if he didn't feel the same? What if I ruined us? That night, back in Queens, Mom was awake when I got home, a rarity. She sat at the kitchen table, a bottle in hand, staring at the TV. Runway Revolution was on, replaying my segment. "That's you," she slurred, eyes narrowing. "Those clothes, they're weird." My stomach twisted. Weird. That's what she'd call me if she knew. I mumbled an excuse and fled to my room, sketching to calm my nerves. My phone buzzed. Ezra. You're trending on X. Ollie. They love you. I smiled, but dread lingered. What if they saw too much? The next round of the competition was in 3 days. We had to create a new piece, live, in front of the audience. The theme, truth. I panicked. My truth was too big, too dangerous. Ezra sensed my fear. We met at a diner, neon lights casting shadows on his face. What's scaring you? He asked, his voice soft. I wanted to tell him I am gay. I love you. I'm drowning, but I couldn't. Just the show. I lied. He reached across the table, squeezing my hand. You don't have to do it alone. His touch burned, and I pulled away, terrified he'd see through me. At school, Ms. Rivera helped me brainstorm. Truth isn't just what you say, she told me, pinning fabric to a mannequin. It's what you create. Her words stuck. I designed a jacket bolt, asymmetrical, with a rainbow lining hidden inside. It was me, bright on the inside, guarded on the out. Ezra helped me sew, his laughter easing my tension. This is you, Ollie, he said, holding it up. It's perfect. I wondered if he meant the jacket or me. The night before the live round, I couldn't sleep. Mom's drinking had gotten worse, and her words cut deeper. You're just like your father, she spat, slamming a glass down. Always hiding something. I locked myself in my room, sketching until dawn. The jacket felt like my last stand, a way to say who I was without saying it. But as I packed for the show, fear crept in. What if Mom watched? What if Ezra saw the rainbow lining and knew? The runway revolution stage felt like a battlefield, the cameras like snipers waiting to catch my every mistake. I stood backstage, clutching the jacket with its hidden rainbow lining, my heart hammering so loud I swore the audience could hear it. Ezra was there, as always, his steady presence the only thing keeping me from bolting. The live rounds theme, truth, hung over me like a storm cloud. The other contestants were buzzing, Lila with her punk-inspired vest, Marcus with a sleek minimalist dress. My jacket felt too personal, too exposed. Vivian Cole's voice boomed, calling me to the runway. I stepped into the blinding lights, holding the jacket like a shield. Oliver Hayes, she said, show us your truth. I held up the jacket, explaining its bold lines and hidden details. The audience leaned forward as I turned it inside out, revealing the rainbow lining. Gasps rippled through the crowd. It's about what you keep inside, I said, voice shaking but growing stronger. The parts of you the world doesn't see. The judges scribbled notes. Carla Ruiz's eyes softened. That's brave, she said. But is it your truth? My throat closed. I nodded, unable to say more. Ezra's grin from the wings was brighter than the stage lights. After my turn, he pulled me aside. That was you, Ollie. All you. His hand lingered on my shoulder, and I wondered if he saw the rainbow for what it was. Did he know? I wanted to ask, to confess, but the next contestant was called, and the moment slipped away. Back home, Mom was watching. I walked in to find her glued to the TV, my segment on repeat. What's with the rainbow? She slurred, her voice sharp. You trying to say something? My heart stopped. I mumbled, it's just fashion, and fled to my room. Her suspicion lingered like smoke, choking me. I texted Ezra, she's asking questions. He replied instantly, you're okay. I'm here. But was I okay? The world was watching, and my secret felt closer to the surface than ever. The next day, school was a blur. Kids whispered about my TV appearance. Some with awe, others with smirks. Nice rainbow. Haze. One jock sneered. I ignored him, but the words stung. Ezra found me in the art room, sketching to escape. Ignore them, he said, sitting close. You're bigger than this place. His knee brushed mine, and I froze, torn between wanting to lean in and wanting to run. MS. Rivera announced the semifinals, a group challenge. I was paired with Lila and Marcus to create a cohesive collection in 48 hours. The theme was identity. Perfect. And terrifying. Lila was all in. Her energy chaotic but inspiring. Marcus was methodical, almost cold. We clashed instantly. Lila wanted bold. Marcus wanted safe. And I wanted truth. I suggested a collection blending our styles, edgy, polished, and personal. They agreed, reluctantly. We worked through the night in the art room, fabric scraps littering the floor. I designed a dress with a rainbow hem, subtle but unmistakable. Lila loved it. Marcus rolled his eyes. Too much, he said. It's a statement. I shot back, surprising myself. Ezra, helping with logistics, winked at me. That's my Ollie, he said. My heart flipped. His Ollie. The semifinals were a blur of adrenaline. Our collection hit the runway, my dress closing the show. The audience roared, but the judges were mixed. Ambitious, Carla said, but uneven. We advanced. Barely. Backstage, Lila high-fived me, but Marcus muttered about my flashy dress. Ezra pulled me into a hug. You're killing it, he whispered. I wanted to stay in his arms forever, but doubt crept in. What if he was just being kind? That night, Mom was worse. She cornered me in the kitchen, bottle in hand. I saw that dress. She spat. You're not like that, are you? Her words were a knife. I lied. No, Mom, and ran to my room, heart racing. I sketched until my hands hurt, pouring my fear into a new designer suit, sharp but soft, like Ezra. My phone buzzed. Ezra, you're stronger than you know. I wanted to believe him, but Mom's words echoed. The semifinals had exposed me. The finals would break me. The finals of Runway Revolution loomed like a tidal wave, ready to drown me or lift me up. I had 1 week to create a showstopper piece, something that screamed Oliver Hayes to the world. But Mom's words, "You're not like that, are you?" clawed at me, making every sketch feel like a confession I wasn't ready to make. Ezra was my anchor. We spent every evening in the art room, fabric and thread scattered like confetti. My final piece was a coat long, dramatic, with a subtle rainbow gradient woven into the lining. It was me, bold yet hidden, yearning to be free. This is it, Ezra said, holding it up. His eyes locked on mine, and for a moment, I thought he saw everything. You're gonna win, Ollie. I wanted to tell him the coat was for him, for us, but fear silenced me. At home, Mom's drinking hit a new low. She'd stopped asking about the rainbow dress, but her silence was worse gold. Suspicious. I avoided her, sneaking out to meet Ezra at a coffee shop in Manhattan. Over steaming mugs, he talked about his own dreams, music, maybe producing. You make me believe I can do it, he said, his voice soft. My heart ached. You make me believe, too, I whispered. His hand brushed mine, lingering. Was it real? I pulled back, scared of hoping. The night before the finals, I couldn't sleep. I sat on my bedroom floor, sketchbook open, staring at the coat's design. It was perfect, but it terrified me. If I wore my truth on that stage, there was no going back. Mom could see. The world could see. Ezra could see. My phone buzzed. Ezra. Calling. You nervous? He asked. I laughed. Shaky. Terrified. His voice softened. You're not alone. Ollie. I'm with you. I wanted to ask what he meant, but I just said, thanks. The finals were electric. The Manhattan studio was packed. Cameras everywhere. The air thick with anticipation. Lila and Marcus were there, too. Their pieces stunning but safe. My coat was last. Vivian Cole introduced me. Her voice booming, Oliver Hayes. The raw heart of Queens. I stepped onto the runway. The coat draped over my shoulders. The audience gasped as I turned, revealing the rainbow lining. This is me, I said, voice steady for the first time. This is my truth. The judges were silent, then erupted. Carla Ruiz stood, clapping. That's what fashion is, she said. Courage. The audience roared, but my eyes found Ezra in the wings, his smile brighter than the lights. Did he know? Did he understand? Backstage, chaos reigned. Contestants hugged. Crew rushed around. But Ezra found me. You did it, he said, pulling me close. His arms felt like home, but doubt lingered. What did he feel? Before I could ask, Vivian announced the winner. Not me. Lila took the prize, her punk aesthetic edging out my raw emotion. I clapped for her, but my heart sank. I'd bared my soul for nothing. Or so I thought. As we left the studio, Ezra grabbed my hand. You won, Ollie. You showed the world who you are. His fingers intertwined with mine, and my breath caught. Ezra, I started, but he shook his head. Let's talk. Somewhere quiet. We walked to a nearby park, the city lights glittering around us. My heart pounded. Was this it? He stopped under a street lamp, his eyes searching mine. I saw the rainbow, he said. I know what it means. My stomach dropped. Ezra. He cut me off, stepping closer. I'm proud of you. And I feel it, too. My world tilted. Was he saying what I thought? Before I could speak, he leaned in, his lips brushing mine. The kiss was soft, real, everything I dreamed. But as we pulled apart, fear crashed in. Mom. Home. The truth was out. Ezra's kiss lingered on my lips as we stood in the park, the Manhattan skyline a blur behind us. My heart soared, but terror clawed at me. I'd spent years hiding who I was. And now, with one kiss, my world was unraveling in live TV, in front of Mom, in front of everyone. We sat on a park bench, the cold biting through my jacket. How long have you known? I asked, voice barely above a whisper. Ezra's eyes softened. About you. A while. About me. Not until I saw your sketches. He laughed, nervous. They're so, you. They made me see myself, too. He was gay. Bi? I didn't know, but his hand in mine felt like truth. What now? I asked. He squeezed my hand. We figure it out. Together. But together felt impossible when I got home. Mom was awake, the TV off, her eyes bloodshot. Saw your little show, she said, her voice ice. That rainbow coat. You think I'm stupid? My heart stopped. I tried to speak, but she cut me off. You're not one of them. You can't be. Her words were a punch, and I fled to my room, locking the door. I texted Ezra, she knows. He replied, Come to my place. Now. Ezra's apartment was a haven warm, cluttered, alive with his mom's cooking and his little sister's laughter. His mom, Maria, hugged me. You're always welcome here, Oliver. I wanted to cry. Ezra pulled me to his room, where we sat on his bed, my sketchbook between us. She'll come around, he said, but I didn't believe him. Mom's hate was a wall I couldn't climb. The next day, school was a minefield. My TV appearance had gone viral on X, with hashtags like Rainbow Kid and Ollie Hayes trending. Some comments were kind, others cruel. Freak was back, louder now. Ezra walked me to every class, his presence a shield. In the art room, Ms. Rivera pulled me aside. Your coat changed people, Oliver, she said. You're braver than you know. Her words were kind, but they didn't erase Mom's voice in my head. I threw myself into sketching, designing a new collection for myself. For Ezra. Each piece was bolder, brighter, unapologetic. Ezra helped, his laughter easing my pain. One night, as we pinned fabric, he kissed me again. I'm all in, he whispered. My heart swelled, but fear lingered. What if Mom kicked me out? What if the world turned on us? The answer came sooner than I expected. A week after the finals, a producer from Runway Revolution called. They wanted me for a follow-up show, a special about emerging voices. My coat had struck a chord, they said. I was floored. Ezra was ecstatic. This is your shot, Ollie. But Mom's shadow loomed. I hadn't seen her sober in days, and her silence was louder than her rants. I agreed to the show, desperate for a way out. Ezra and I spent days preparing, designing a new Pisces suit, sharp and vibrant, with a rainbow lapel. It was us, together. But the night before the shoot, Mom exploded. I came home to find my sketchbook torn, pages scattered across the kitchen. You're disgusting, she screamed, vodka on her breath. Get out. I grabbed what I could me coat, my phone, and ran to Ezra's. Maria took me in, no questions asked. Ezra held me as I cried, my dreams and fears spilling out. You're enough, he said, his voice fierce. You're more than enough. I clung to him, but guilt gnawed at me. I'd lost Mom, maybe forever. The show was tomorrow, and I had to face the world alone, or so I thought. Ezra's room became my sanctuary, his bed a raft in the storm of my life. Mom's words, "You read disgusting," echoed, but Ezra's arms around me dulled the pain. The Runway Revolution follow-up show was hours away, and I was a mess of nerves and hope. Maria, Ezra's mom, treated me like family. Over breakfast, she slid a plate of pancakes my way. You're home here, Oliver, she said. Her kindness broke me, and I mumbled a thank you, fighting tears. Ezra squeezed my knee under the table. We got this, he whispered. His confidence was a lifeline, but I couldn't shake the fear of facing the cameras again, especially now, with Mom's rejection raw in my chest. The new suit was ready, its rainbow lapel a quiet rebellion. I'd poured everything into it, me love for Ezra, my pain, my hope. Ezra helped me pack, his hand steady as he folded the fabric. You're gonna shine, he said. I wanted to believe him, but doubt crept in. What if the world saw me as Mom did? What if I wasn't enough? The studio was smaller this time, the vibe intimate but intense. The special, emerging voices, focused on personal stories. Vivian Cole greeted me warmly, but the cameras felt like judges. Other designers shared their stories. Lila talked about her queer identity with pride, Marcus about his privileged upbringing. Then it was my turn. I stood under the lights, the suit gleaming, and spoke. My designs are my truth, I said, voice steadying. I grew up hiding who I am. My mom, she doesn't accept me. But these clothes, this suthiri me saying I'm enough. The audience was silent, then erupted in applause. Carla Ruiz wiped a tear. You're a storyteller, Oliver, she said. Never stop. I looked for Ezra in the crowd, his proud smile anchoring me. Backstage, he pulled me into a hug. You did it, he whispered. You told the world. I kissed him, not caring who saw. For the first time, I felt free. But freedom came with a cost. My phone buzzed, Mom. A voicemail. Don't come back, she slurred. My heart sank, but Ezra's hand in mine kept me standing. We left the studio, walking through Manhattan's glittering streets. Ezra talked about our future, maybe a design studio, maybe music, maybe us. I wanted it all, but Mom's words lingered. At his apartment, Maria sat us down. You're both welcome here, she said. Always. I cried, grateful but lost. Ezra held me, his warmth a promise. The next day, X was ablaze with clips from the show. Ollie Hayes was trending again, this time with support pouring in. Strangers shared their own stories of rejection, of love, of hope. I read them through tears. Ezra beside me. You're changing things, he said. I shook my head. We are. He kissed me, and I let myself believe in us. But reality crashed in. I needed a plan school, money, a place to live. Parsons was still a dream, but without the scholarship, it felt impossible. Ezra suggested we start small, maybe sell designs online. We're a team, he said. His belief in me was everything, but fear lingered. What if Mom was right? What if I failed? Living with Ezra's family was a lifeline, but it didn't erase the hole Mom left. Her voicemail dot come back played on repeat in my mind, a reminder of everything I'd lost. Yet, with Ezra beside me, I felt a spark of hope, like maybe I could rebuild. The Emerging Voices episode aired, and my story spread like wildfire. Ex-posts called me brave, inspiring, but some were cruel, echoing Mom's disgust. I tried to focus on the good, on Ezra's hand in mine, but the hate stung. At school, kids stared, some with respect, others with smirks. Ezra walked me through the halls, his presence a shield. They don't get you, he said. But I do. MS. Rivera called me to the art room. You've got a gift, Oliver, she said, handing me a letter. It was from a local designer, offering a mentorship. Your story touched her, MS. Rivera said. I was floored. A mentorship wasn't Parsons, but it was a start. Ezra grinned when I told him. Told you, Ollie. You're unstoppable. We spent evenings planning. Ezra found a website builder, and we started an online store for my designs. The suit from the show was our first listing, and orders trickled in. Each sale felt like a victory, a step toward independence. But at night, alone in Ezra's room, I wrestled with guilt. Mom was out there, drowning in her pain, and I'd left her behind. One afternoon, Maria sat me down. You can't fix her, Oliver, she said, her voice gentle but firm. But you can build your life. Her words hit hard. I nodded, tears falling. Ezra found me later, sketching on his bed. You okay? He asked. I shook my head. I don't know how to let her go. He pulled me close. You don't have to. Just keep going. The mentorship began, and I threw myself into it. The designer, Aisha, was tough but kind, teaching me to refine my vision. She loved my rainbow aesthetic, calling it authentic. Ezra came to every session, cheering me on. One night, as we walked home, he stopped me under a streetlight. "I love you, Ollie," he said, his voice steady. My heart stopped. "I love you, too," I whispered, and we kissed, the world fading away. But the past wasn't done with me. A week later, Mom showed up at Ezra's building, sober for the first time in years. My heart raced as I faced her. "I saw you on TV," she said, her voice shaky. I don't understand, but I don't want to lose you." Tears stung my eyes. Was this real? Could she change? I didn't know, but I hugged her, hope flickering. We talked for hours, awkward but honest. She didn't accept Minute fully, but she was trying. It was a start. Ezra held my hand as we watched her leave, promising to call. "You're so strong," he said. I didn't feel strong, but with him, I believed I could be. A year later, I stood in a small Brooklyn gallery, my first collection on display. The room buzzed with people friends, strangers, even a few fashion bloggers. My designs bold, colorful, unapologetically mahung on racks. Each piece a story of survival, love, and truth. Ezra was by my side, his hand in mine, his smile brighter than the gallery lights. Mom was there, too, standing quietly in the corner. She'd been sober for 6 months, attending meetings, trying to understand me. It wasn't perfect some days. Her old anger flared, but she was here, and that meant everything. We were rebuilding, slowly, one honest conversation at a time. The mentorship with Aisha had changed my life. She'd connected me with local boutiques, and my online store was growing. Parsons was still a dream, but I was saving, sketching, believing. Ezra was chasing his own dreams, producing music with a friend, his passion as fierce as mine. We were a team, building a future together. As the gallery event wound down, Ezra pulled me outside. The Brooklyn night was cool, the stars faint above the city. "You did it, Ollie," he said, his voice thick with pride. "You showed the world who you are." I kissed him, my heart full. "We did it," I said. "You saw me when I couldn't see myself." My sketches had exposed me, first on live TV, then to the world. They'd cost me pain, fear, and a home, but they'd given me love, courage, and a voice. I wasn't hiding anymore. I was Oliver Hayes, gay, in love, and alive. And with Ezra by my side, I knew I could face anything.